fighting for
1941, a date which will live.
Note that the first atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima.
These forces met their match.
We have declared the war in Vietnam.
but we don't plan to surrender either.
We are going to win.
Proportions and would lead to World War III.
Allied air forces began an attack on military targets.
Decide that in the 21st century that America...
March 5th, 2052, the United States has officially closed.
The United States will go ahead with a national quarantine. The new plague virus.
Disaster sweeping
Right here, pull over. All right, ain't nothing in there.
War never changes. It was the inevitable result of the path humanity had chosen. Everyone who entered into the conflict expected victory. Everyone was optimistic. But as the hostilities escalated, optimism faded, and society began to collapse. The great vaults were built to house the wealthy, the powerful, the influential, and those deemed necessary to their survival. Inside, resources and technology were stockpiled, a final defense against the coming Holocaust. With the past behind them and the present destroyed, they looked to the future. The sturdy Vault Zero was to be the nucleus of the Vault network, housing the greatest leaders, artists, and scientists. The inhabitants of Vault Zero were to reunite the vaults and lead the people to a new life, a new world. But after the bombs, the world would be a harsh one. To ensure the creation of a post-nuclear utopia, the Vault dwellers would need help. Machinery was constructed to tame a land hardened by the ravages of war, then tempered by nuclear winter. But plans were barely in place when the first missiles left the silos. During the destruction, communication between the vaults ceased. Entire vaults were lost. Those that survived were on their own. Not all vaults succumbed to the machinations of war. On North America's west coast, one group of military vault dwellers emerged almost unscathed. They surveyed the wasteland and squared their shoulders for the task ahead. These dedicated survivors salvaged the technology from the vaults. Technology that was studied, replicated, and fiercely guarded. For they knew that while their power came from numbers, their future lay in scientific knowledge. In time, they formed the Brotherhood of Steel. The Brotherhood used their knowledge to drive back the atrocities of the wasteland, proclaiming themselves the technological saviors of mankind. They scoured the land in search of more technology, raiding mutant camps, bandit towns, and the broken remains of other vaults. But even they could not keep pace with the high tolls demanded by life in the wasteland. The Brotherhood found themselves at odds with their need for new blood versus their code of technological secrecy. The debate was lengthy. Finally, the Elders ruled against sharing the technology with outsiders, convinced that they would endure as they had before. Further discussion was discouraged, and the Elders ordered the minority on a mission across the wastes. Super mutants, the foot soldiers of a conquered army, had been forced into a retreat across the mountainous barrier to the east. The Brotherhood constructed airships and dispatched the minority to track down and assess the extent of the remaining super mutant threat. But disaster struck while crossing the Great Mountains. A great storm gripped the main airship and flung it far from its course. The mighty ship was badly damaged. The smaller sections were torn from the main craft, never to be seen again. Many of the expedition's leaders were lost to the winds. The fraction of the crew that still survived struggled to keep their ship aloft before finally crashing on the outskirts of a once thriving metropolis. A city once called Chicago. Broken, scattered, and scarred, they took stock of the situation and once again squared their shoulders to the task ahead. The Brotherhood had much to offer the surrounding villages. They traded advanced medicines in exchange for food and labor. They traded protection from bandits in exchange for new recruits. In time, their ranks began to swell. Separated by distance and ideology from the main Brotherhood forces, the minority was free to forge a new Brotherhood of Steel, one that reflected the ideals they had strived for all along. However, one's future in the wasteland is never certain, for an old power has awakened, also bent on making this land its own. Life in the Brotherhood is about to change.
Dun dun dun! Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the new Let's Play Fallout Tactics. Now, I've not actually fiddled with any of the options. I probably should have done because I noticed that the subtitles weren't on. Individual turn-based, that's what I'd like. I think that's what I want. I'm not going to fill. I think display's alright. It's quite small. We could probably make that bigger. I probably should have actually tried this before, but this is the first time I'm bringing up this game ever. So this is going to be blind, and we all know how good I am at strategy and tactical games. Pause for laughter. So this is probably going to end up being a bit more of a let's try, and we are going to see how far we can get. I'm not promising I'm going to finish this. We may get to one mission where I continually die and fail and get more and more annoyed. And then I think that's where we say, oh, we lost. As far as I understand it, this game is only semi-canon anyway. I mean, already there's one continuity kind of glitch, because I'm fairly sure the Brotherhood of Steel came from the Mariposa base, which wasn't a vault. What else was I going to do? I don't think anything. We could fiddle with the display, but everything seems to be working. What we're going to do, though, for this session is we're just going to play the tutorials, so I have an understanding of the controls. This session is more of a let's try, and then I'm going to see how I feel about the controls and everything. And, I mean, I say that. I've already kind of written out my idea for a character, so... which could work actually. Oh, I might want to fiddle with it based on what we've just heard from the story. But you'll find out next time, assuming this works. Ooh, there are 4. There are 4 tutorials. We'll see how long we go. Depends how long these are, but I assume they're not going to be too long. So this will probably just be the one session. Let's see what happens. Basic.
Recruit, attention! I am Paladin Ziskel. The elders have ordered me to mold you lizard-chasing, hut-dwelling, moon-worshipping savages into Brotherhood of Steel initiates. You are going to learn the basics of combat, followed by inventory management and other skills. First, let's talk about this miracle of technology which you are currently using, called the Pip-Boy 2000 computer. You will receive all your mission briefs and debriefs through this device, and you can use it to review any information you receive during a mission. Pay careful attention, as you will be given a lot of very useful information. Now begin the mission by left-clicking on Start Mission.
Oh, we're some of the new people. I was wondering if we were the old guy, the old team, but I think by the sounds of that, if this is kind of a setup to the further game, then although we've not created a character, okay, I think it would probably still work.
Let's get started, recruit. During the mission, you can view your surroundings by using the cursor keys to scroll the viewing window. You can also use your mouse to scroll the window by holding it over the border of the desired direction. Center the game window on Rex by right-clicking on his control tab. Take a look around. You will only be able to see the enemy if there is a direct line of sight between them and at least one of your squad members. Rex is carrying a submachine gun, SMG, in his left hand. This is his currently selected weapon. If you don't have a weapon in your selected hand, then you can perform hand-to-hand attacks. It might not sound like much, but nothing ever feels as good as delivering a mailed fist to some unsuspecting raider's snot box. We're going to target the dummy nearest to Rex by moving the cursor over it. When we do this, the pointer changes to a targeting cursor. Now, click Done. Target the dummy, and left-click to fire at it.
Okay, so I get to move around. Okay, there's a door there, so we don't know what's through here, or through here, because we can't see. I assume we're going to crawl through there. And then, ooh, another door. So that's the final area, I guess. Now, if I right-click, aha! And now we're going to try and use our SMG. Okay.
To make Rex move, you must left-click on the location you want him to move to. If you hold the Shift key down when you left-click, Rex will run to that location. Now, move Rex to the Training Station 2 by left-clicking on the area of floor marked 02.
Okay. So, okay. So we want to get to that space. Okay, and that's slowly regenerated. Oh, so this is... I think that means it's real time. I had a brief look at the manual while I was planning my character. Like, what kind of perks do I definitely want for kind of my idea? I might actually have to have another look. Oh, I thought...
Most weapons have more than one mode. For example, the SMG can be used in either single shot or burst mode. Click Done, and right-click on the SMG to change it to single shot mode and shoot the next dummy.
Okay, so the AP didn't drop down as I thought it would. Okay, single.
Every character in the game has an inventory associated with them. Close this window and look at Rex's inventory by left-clicking on the button marked INV in the panel in the bottom right of the screen.
Okay, close that inventory.
The inventory window will list all the items that a character is currently carrying. You can get additional information on any item in the inventory by left-clicking on it. Rex currently has ammunition for the SMG and is also carrying a knife. When you have a squad of characters, you can redistribute items amongst them by opening a character's inventory and dragging items to the other characters or their character tabs. But this only works if the characters involved are close to one another.
Makes sense.
Close this window and drag the knife down to Rex's right hand to get him ready for a melee attack. After you have equipped Rex with the knife, close the inventory.
So I can't do that yet, so I have to go close that. What? Oh, right, it has. Okay, I was confused for a moment.
Melee attacks are initialized in exactly the same way as ranged attacks. Select the knife as your chosen weapon by left-clicking on it in the hand slot. Right-click on the dummy at Training Station 3, and Rex will walk up to it and attack it with the knife.
Okay, left. Okay, I clicked on the left. I assume that didn't do anything?
Corpses to see if they contain any items of interest. Do not think of this as dishonorable. Your dead enemies have a wealth of items to aid the Brotherhood. Weapons, armor, ammo, money. It's all out there for the taking. Close this window and loot the body of the dummy you have just attacked by left-clicking on it.
Okay. Get a key.
This window shows two inventories. On the left side of the screen is Rex's inventory. On the right side of the screen is the inventory of the dummy, which we are going to loot from. Take the key from the dummy by left-clicking on it, holding and dragging it into Rex's inventory.
Okie dokie.
The key you have found is one of many unbelievably useful objects littered around the wastelands. You must use it to unlock the door to the next room. Left-click on the door, and Rex will walk up to it and unlock it. Now, left-click on the door to open it, and walk through the open door to Training Station 4.
Okay. If I remember correctly, in Fallout 2, you had to have the thing activated to do it. Or maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe I am misremembering. Move to 4.
Many items in the world are in containers, hidden from prying eyes and sticky fingers. These objects can be identified because when you move the cursor over them, it will change into a yellow target. The locker on Rex's right contains some items, all of which will be of use to you.
Hooray!
Left-click on it to open it.
Okay. It's not gone yellow, it's gone kind of cream grey.